So imagine Albert Einstein going out there and putting out his theory of relativity, and all of a sudden he puts it online and he gets a whole bunch of freaking hate comments on it. And people were telling him, bro, this is too much freaking math. This stuff sucks. Put this away. We don't want this no more. And all of a sudden he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it no more because these people don't like it. I was going for their approval and they don't freaking like it. That wouldn't make no sense, right? Because Albert Einstein is one of the greatest minds we've ever had, and he knew what he was doing. And I want to talk a little bit about this, being able to be a self-actualizer. What is a self-actualizer? It's a concept I've recently heard from this book called Self-Mastery. And in this book, he talks about the fact that self-actualizers are people who do not need others' approval. You are just going and you're going on your own path because you know you have something great to give to the world, and you're not going to let nobody else stop you. They are people who are not focused on others' approval. They're focused on bringing something great to the world, and they are in their own lane, man. So why is it so important to be a self-actualizer? Because if not, every little thing is going to affect you. You're going to be looking for people's approval. You're going to be focused on results and not enjoying the process. That's what he's talking about here. So even Jesus Christ, man, he was a self-actualizer because he needed to go and do his own path. But his parents didn't always understand him. You know, they've heard from God and they know that they were going to get sent this son, but they didn't actually know exactly what he's going to be doing. Because me and my girlfriend yesterday were reading a little bit of the Bible, and we read about the part of Jesus' story as he was a kid. And in there, it talked about how he was, all of a sudden, he went missing for 3 days from his parents. And his parents, of course, were freaking worried. They were like, where the hell is this Jesus dude? Where is he going? They go, they look, and eventually they find him at the temple. He's listening, he's trying to understand, he's learning from people there, he's trying to teach as best as he can at 12 freaking years old. And they go and they're like, Jesus, where the hell have you been? You've been missing for 3 days. And they tell him, or he tells them, what are you talking about? You know I got to do my father's business. Well, like, why are you so worried about me? So Jesus knows what he's doing. He knows that he has to follow his calling, but his parents don't always understand. They don't always know. They aren't able to keep up with him all the time. So they were a little bit questioning it. They were like, what's going on? Like, why, like, you can't do this. But Jesus knew what he was doing, and he knew he was on his own path. That is the definition of a self-actualizer. So for ourselves, we have to be able to do that also. We have to be able to go on our own path, go on our own calling, even if not everybody understands it. Even if not everybody understands how good you see yourself getting in the future. Because also, recently, you know, I'm going on my path and I'm getting better and better at what I'm doing, and I feel so connected to it. You know, I had one of the biggest breakthroughs that I've ever had recently, but then all of a sudden, that same day that I had this breakthrough, I see this comment right before I'm about to go to sleep. And it's from this dude who has been watching my videos for a while. But then all of a sudden he mentions, he's like, these videos feel soulless because this dude uses AI for so much of his process. And I'm like, okay, well, like I wasn't expecting that from this dude, you know? It came out of nowhere, but if he feels like that, he feels like that, you know what I'm saying? But what he doesn't know also is the fact that I hit this breakthrough. He's commenting on a video that I uploaded, I think it was on a Wednesday, but I also had a couple of videos scheduled for Friday and Saturday. And these Friday and Saturday videos are a breakthrough that I felt I had in my videos. So this dude is hating on these videos that were made back here. But if you are a self-actualizer, then you're trying to grow and grow and grow. And you're focused on personal growth. That's what he talks about in the book. So he's hating here, but I'm actually growing within the next 2 days. So he's hating on the past version of myself. So for ourselves, if we want to continue to grow, if we want to continue to be disassociated from any of the hate that we're going to get along the way or the path that we're growing on, then we have to continue to grow. Focus on our personal growth. If you're focused on that, you know how much better you're getting. You know how much better you're going to be able to become, because only you are going to know that. Other people can hate, other people can say that they don't see what you're seeing, but you can continue to go and make that day by day by day. Because the version of you 10 years from now is not going to care about what anybody else said right now if you continue to be focused on that growth. And it's going to be so amazing, man, because it's just like, okay, you could do whatever you want to do, but you could hate on me, but I'm going to continue to grow and I'm going to continue to do my thing. And that's how we're going to be able to bring the best thing that we can to everybody, man. That's how we're going to be able to continue to grow and continue to bring that great thing in the future and not let anything stop us. And the last thing I think is the most important, one of the most important, is that you're focused on bringing something to the world, not just focused on something selfish. If you're focused on just looking good, if you're focused on just trying to get the approval, then you're going to be lenient towards that. But if you're focused on bringing something greater to the world, you're going to be leaning towards that. So how can you tie what you're currently doing to bringing something great to other people? Like if you stopped what you're doing, what are other people going to be losing out on? And it's just sometimes something that you have to think about. You might be doing it anyways. You might be having that right now, but you might just not have taken the time to sit and think about that. What are you bringing to the world? What are people missing out on if you don't continue to go on your path, if you don't continue to grow? For myself, I feel like I'm able to bring this as best I can. If I can bring this as best I can give people motivation, encouragement, light, love throughout their journeys, because I know how much I've needed that throughout my journey, and be able to bring the light of Jesus. So of course, I'm gonna continue to do my thing no matter what, man. So what is that for y'all? What is that purpose that keeps you sustained through everything that you're going through, the ups and the downs, all throughout? I just want to share this with you guys because I think being a self-actualizer is so freaking important. This is a concept that I'm just getting introduced to, but I think it's so freaking important for us to actually be able to sustain ourselves throughout this whole journey. And if we want to do that, we're going to have to be exceptional, we're going to have to be different, and we're going to have to bring that thing no matter what comes in our path. I love you guys. Let me know what you're currently bringing right now. Let me know what that thing is. I love you. Have an amazing day, week. Peace.